important is it for you to keep an open mind? Personally, it's a value I hold really dear. I think it's important to listen and reflect on other people's perspectives and points of view that are different to my own. But when does this principle of open-mindedness reach its limits? There was a news report out recently around the controversy that the government had dropped long-promised age verification checks for online pornography. Delightful. Legislation had previously required but never enforced age verification checks on porn sites. New legislation is being brought forward in the Online Safety Bill that was supposed to close that loophole, therefore limiting the ability for young people to stumble across content that is unsuitable for them, or indeed anyone, but that's a different conversation. Campaigners, however, were deeply disappointed to see that many commercial sites would be exempt from the legislation because it only covered sites with user-generated content. When challenged on the omission, Culture Secretary Oliver Dowden said, "I don't have a closed mind on this. If we can find a commensurate way of providing wider protection for children within it, well, I think there's a strong case for doing that." What this very well-crafted public statement seemed to imply was that the business consequence of age limits on commercial pornographic sites was more of a concern to Parliament than the protection of our young people and ensuring that they cannot access content that is significantly damaging. We were being misdirected to hear the moral value of keeping an open mind and miss the denial of the moral imperative to protect the vulnerable. This is the story of capitalism, one which affirms the individual autonomy of people. We're able to make consumer choices about everything. That's our right. And that right to make our consumer choice, in this instance, seems to override our collective responsibility to protect those without the ability or opportunity to make their own choice. The vulnerable. What does it mean to be human? Is it that we have the right to make our own choices and not be restricted in the content we might choose to watch or participate in the privacy of our own homes? Or is it to affirm, protect and promote the dignity of all human beings? Is our moral responsibility to protect the business interests of any company, regardless of its product? Or to refute the notion that sex is a product at all? There are limits to my open mind. I cannot be open-minded about whether or not a human being has dignity. I cannot be open-minded about my responsibility to protect the vulnerable and the voiceless. To be human is to defend the humanity of others, young and old. None of us get to be open-minded about that.